How do I record? There we go. But hey, everybody, thank you so much for making it to this meeting. I am so glad to have all of you here and also super excited for a really cool term. But yeah, let's just get started. So this is the agenda we have for this meeting. It's not too long. I think we have like a games night planned towards the end as well. So we'd love to have you stay and get to know our execs a little bit too. But we'll just go over what the Data Science Club is, what we do, what we're known for, introducing our amazing exec team. They are the people behind the scenes really bringing our club together and putting out all these cool events, podcasts, workshops for you. So I'd love to introduce you to our team for this term as well. And we'll go over like past things we've done in the past, including like workshops, reading groups, speaker and industry events, games night, and then we'll also have the podcast team talk about what they do a little bit. And finally, the part that you would most be excited about, really just how to get involved and be a member with us this term. Okay, perfect. So I hope most of you know already, but hi everybody, I'm Prithika. I'm the president of the Data Science Club. I've been with the Data Science Club for like more than a year now. I'm just super excited to continue to be here and put out some really cool events for you. And this is our education team. Jack has also been around, I think, since the very beginning, at least since I started. Jack, you want to say hi?
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, as Prithika said, I've been here since last fall. Excited to continue on with the team.
Perfect. And I don't know if all of the execs are on the call right now, but if you are and you wanted to chip in at your part, feel free to interrupt me. But yeah, Jack is our VP of Education. He has been the VP of Education last term as well. And then we have a couple new and old additions to the education team. So we have Winston, who was our workshop lead and will be continuing on this term. Again, like if you're here and you wanted to interrupt and say hi, feel free to do so, or I'll just keep going. Next up, we have a new addition to the team who's Victor, and he's going to be our workshop lead this term. Something that's cool is that our education team is actually growing a little bit, so we're able to put out more content and more regularly for you. So we have other members, Jesse, who's going to be our reading group lead, Alvin, who's also going to be a reading group lead, and then Tom, who's our workshop lead. Sorry, I don't know if I heard someone unmute, but if you wanted to talk, feel free to go ahead. Awesome, I'll take that as silence. Perfect. And then next up, we have our finance team. So Bradley's also been with us for a while now. He was in social media, but now he's our VP of Finance, which is very exciting. And then we have our design team. Again, initially, our design team was just one person, VP of design, and I honestly don't know how they did it. So I'm really excited for us to be growing our design team as well. We have Amar, who's going to be our VP of design this term, Khan, who's returning as a designer, and we're just super excited to have her here as well. And our newest addition, Alexana, super excited for you to be here as well. And we have two more members, and they are also returning members, Angela and Amy. Again, just super excited for our design team to be growing, and thank you all for all the work you do. And then for our social media team, so we have Julia. She's also been around since the very beginning, I think. And she was our VP of social media last term, and she'll be continuing on. I think I saw Julia on the call. Did you want to say hi?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, nice to meet you. I'll talk more about like our social media near the end of the presentation. So yeah.
Perfect. And then we have EQ here as well, who's joining us this term as our social media coordinator. And then we have two new additions as well, Rachel and Andre. And it's really exciting to see first years joining our exec team as well. So super excited to have both of you on board. And now on to our external affairs team. So we have Vipasha, who was also with us last term, and she will be returning as the VP of External Affairs. We have Ankur. He's also been around for a while, so thank you for being here and like doing all the outreach for all of the events. And then we have two new additions, Palak and Calvin, and they are both going to be our external affairs coordinators as well. And they're also doing a lot of work behind the scenes to like put all the events together. So super excited to have them here. And now I'm moving on to our events team. So Smriti has also been here since the very beginning. And I know that you're in the call, so if you wanted to hop in and say hi.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, just again, thank you for being here and doing all the work you do. And we have large number of event coordinators on our team as well, including Runch, who is returning from last term. And then we have 2 new additions, Rodrigo and Alex. And yeah, we're just super excited to have them on board as well. And yeah, I think this is the last slide, but this is just a mission statement we put together over the course of last term. And I think I'll just read it out. So we're a passionate student-led club committed to helping students at the University of Waterloo explore the expansive field of data science. And we honestly, like, what we're aiming for is to create a community of students who can lean on each other for support, be it just as peers, or also just to learn more about the data science field. And again, just bridging that gap between academics and the data science world, which is sometimes a little hard to understand or get into initially. And the first step to doing that is really joining our club as a member and attending this meeting. So thank you so much for being here, everybody. Yeah, and I think I'll now give it over to Smriti to take over the rest of this.
I'll actually go over the education slides.
Yeah.
But basically, we're going to be hosting several workshops like we've done in the past. And for our new members, the workshops are an opportunity to learn about the theory and application of a range of data science topics. Our goal is that club members can use these new data science techniques and technologies on their own after attending a workshop. And our first workshop is going to be an intro to regression analysis, which will take place on September 23rd, which is next Thursday. And then our second workshop of the term will be using Docker with ML models, which will take place the following Thursday, which is September the 30th. And we'll be sending out a schedule of future workshops via Facebook, Instagram, and Discord as soon as it's finalized, which we're planning to do this coming weekend. We record all of our workshops and upload them to our YouTube channel. So if you aren't able to attend them live, you can watch them after on the YouTube channel. And as well, the YouTube channel has workshops from our previous terms. So I'd highly recommend you go and check it out and watch some of the previous ones. As well, please fill out the Google form for the member sign up, because that will help us know about what topics club members want to see, as well as the dates that work best for everyone. And yeah, we'll also be hosting reading groups this term, and reading groups are different to workshops in that they're an opportunity to discuss research papers and learn about a variety of areas in data science on a regular basis. So we're still deciding the schedule for that again, but we're hoping to have our first reading group session in a week or two. And you'll be meeting either on a weekly basis or every couple of weeks. We're still figuring out those details, but some potential topics that we're considering are transformers, which is an interesting type of machine learning model, and their applications in natural language processing and computer vision, which is a lesser known application, but super interesting. And then we're also looking to have a reading group potentially on JAX, which is a new Python library that Google is developing for machine learning research. Super exciting area. So if either of those topics interest you, be on the lookout. And as well, please submit some ideas. If you have some interesting ideas for workshops or reading groups, there's a field in the Google form for you to submit those. So we'd love to hear your ideas, and we'll be keeping you updated on the scheduling again on Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. And I think all of the links are in the chat. Julia already sent them. But yeah, so fill out the member sign up and go check out the YouTube channel. That's everything from the education team.
Hey everyone, so now moving on to events. We'll be hosting several events throughout this term, including the speakers/industry events, where we'll be having speakers from different backgrounds. So we'll be having professors, different industry professionals, and people of various backgrounds, just so you know like what it's like in different industries, or what it's like to be a professor or something like that, like research or anything. We'll be having research talks, we'll be having industry talks based on different topics, such as what is data science at like XYZ. So last term we had people from, we had an intern from Facebook doing his panel on what it was like working as a data scientist at Facebook and various talks of that. So they're very interesting. Definitely come out to them. We'll be having some research talks as well. So what is research? What research is some company doing in a certain field, right? So we also had a research panel last year or last term where we had people doing various kinds of research from Carnegie Mellon, like PhD students, different kinds of people. Yeah, different kinds of technologies as well. So just like Jack mentioned, how the JAX is a very new technology. We'll also be having talks based on different kinds of technologies that are being used in the data science field. We'll also be having co-op panels. So these panels help you get ready for co-op, whether it's resume help or finding good internships or tips and tricks, things like do's and don'ts of internships. We'll be having those kind of panels as well. Also, we have a project program / guided projects event. So guided project is something that we did last fall. And project program is something that we'll be doing this term, where it's a collaboration with CSC. So that's the Computer Science Club. And we'll be assigning you guys groups, and you guys will be coming up with a project idea. Of course, you'll be paired up with a mentor, and you guys will be coming up with a project idea that you will be presenting with other judges and with the other group members, and potentially win some prizes. And so for our upcoming events, there's more, but I just listed some of the most recent ones. We have a resume critique collab with CSC, Tech Plus, VIX, NSOC, and ECE. So that's going to happen on the 19th. So 19th is when the resume critique happens, and 26th is when we have our mock interviews event. So with that being said, if you're interested in being our mentor, so kind of just going over resumes or going over a mock interview, do apply. If you're interested, however, in being a mentee, so if you want to get your resume critiqued, or if you want to get your interview skills critiqued, you can apply as a mentee as well. Do note that in order for you to apply as a mentor, you'd have to be in 2B or above, or at least finish 2 internships, I believe. And then we'll be having another event on October 7th, which is going to be a networking and data science event. So we'll be having different rooms, sort of like breakout rooms in Zoom, but it's going to be more, you're going to be given more freedom. And in this event, you'll be able to talk to people with different internships or with different backgrounds and different kinds of internships. If you want advice on courses, you can talk to people who have done several courses. If you're so, for example, if you're confused about certain stat courses or how to plan your course outline or something, or courses, then you can definitely come out and check this event out. We'll also be having another room with execs. So if you're curious about workshops or other events, you can definitely join that room and learn more. Moving on, we'll also be having a conference and a datathon on October 29th to 31. So it's a 3-day conference. I'll be talking more about this in the next slide. Project program, same thing. Next slide, I'll go over it. It's going to happen on October. So sorry, can you go back? And then we're going to have a research event where we'll be getting a professor or someone who's done extensive research in data science, and you'll be able to ask your questions. Do know that most of our events are going to be interactive, so they're not just events where you'll just be sitting in front of your device and just staring at your screen. You'll be given a chance to ask your questions or whatever you feel comfortable doing. Yeah, so project program, as I said, is something that we're planning with CSC, and we released our mentor and mentee apps, or sorry, mentee apps will be released on the 25th. So what this event is it's like a 7-week long event where you'll be working on a project with peers. There's different topics that you can work on. You'll be picking your topic. We'll be pairing you up with a mentor. That mentor is only going to work with your group, so it's highly focused, and there's no like you're highly focused on your project, right? Just to avoid any distractions. And we'll be having office hours, so that will be done through mentors or through club execs who are highly qualified. We'll also be giving you chances to socialize. So for example, we'll be having speed funding events or games night throughout the project program itself. And if you are interested in mentoring for the project program event, do let us know. The form has been released. So yeah, it's all on our Discord, like Julia mentioned. So definitely check that out if you're interested in mentoring the group, or if you're interested in just taking part. We'll be having a kickoff event on the 23rd. So you definitely come out to that before applying. to be a mentee, just so you know what the expectations are. Yeah, we'll also be having a conference / datathon, which is going to be a 3-day conference with several events in it. So keynote speakers, panel, we'll be having workshops, networking events, and we're hoping to get companies involved as well. So if, for example, we get enough companies, we'll be having potential recruitment opportunities. Well, you'll be given a chance to talk to different people from different companies and potentially discuss future opportunities with them. So I know one company who's confirmed, so we'll be having more. And of course, I can't reveal that to you now, but there's definitely some great things for you guys for this event. We'll be having guests from different fields. So as I mentioned, for example, for the 2 keynote speakers, one of them is going to be someone with extensive research background, talking about new technologies, new fields that they're developing, things like that. And the other guest is going to be someone with lots of industry experiences. So someone who can talk about how data science has changed from different years and how it impacts businesses, right? And how it's being utilized and implemented in different business cases. Do note, as I mentioned, all of these events are going to be very interactive. I know I said keynote speakers, but you'll also be given a chance to talk to those speakers and ask any questions that you might have. We'll be giving out prizes. So the datathon is going to start, we'll be releasing data sets and stuff like that at the beginning of the conference. And towards the end, you'll be given a chance to present your code and we'll be giving out prizes. Also, Tanishi is someone who will be working on this. She's helping us plan this event. So Tanishi, do you want to add on? If I'm missing something?
No, I think you did a great job of covering everything. I have nothing to add other than I hope we see everybody there getting involved. It's going to be a great opportunity to explore data science.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we'll be having several games night as well. We'll be having games night involved within or included within different events, such as project program or the conference event or the end of term event, actually also the beginning of term event. So we do play several games because it's always fun to include games in your life. But yeah, we'll be having several games. So definitely come out and check these out. At the end of this call, we'll be having a games night as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. You can also suggest some games. So if you're interested in playing a certain game, do let us know and we'll definitely include those games as well. And now I'll hand it over to the podcasting.
Yeah, thanks, Smriti. So my name's Gervik. I'm on the podcast team along with some more amazing folks on the team. And first of all, I just want to say thanks for everyone making it here. And it's just so exciting to see like all the people interested in DSC and especially the first years, like Pritika mentioned, the addition of all the first year execs as well. It's awesome. So I'll just go over what the Unlabelled Unstructured podcast does. So we do a casual style data science podcast with industry professionals. So we feature guests that are like, they can be pros in the field, whether they're from a large FANG company or they're a researcher, also interns, content creators, and it just, the list goes on of the type of people that we feature. And for this term, we've kind of established a new goal for the podcast. And with this experience we've had in the first 4 months, we kind of starting out with the podcast, we learned that we want to learn something new every day. And what this is going to do is we're going to maximize the width of like the topics that we dive into along with the backgrounds of each guest. So stay tuned. We've got some awesome topics and conversations coming up. And basically, it's just treating the podcast like a casual fireside chat, treating the audience as if they're riding along with us through every episode. And it's going to be awesome. You'll be sure to learn something new every time. Some potential topics that we're looking to explore, something like Tesla autopilot would be awesome. Neuroscience and ML, so things like imaging, detection, sports analytics. We got actually got one coming up that is in the field of sports analytics with the YouTuber, and also we got tons of more topics coming up. But those are just 3 of the trendy ones that we were looking at. So we're also always scouting new guests. We got awesome stories to tell always, and we're going to continue to utilize our polls. We want to look at our trends and see what the people want. And if you've got any guest ideas, topic ideas, look out for the polls on the social medias, social media outlets, or just reach out to one of us. And so catch us bi-weekly every Saturday. Every other Saturday on Audible, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and yeah, can move on to the next slide to Kim. Is Kim?
I think she's in the call.
She's in the
but,
call, yeah.
I don't think she's connected to audio. But she is. And her mic is on too. I just can't hear her. Did you want to take the slide?
I can take it if she's not here.
Hello?
Yeah, okay. Oh, is she here? Okay, cool.
Is my mic working now?
Yeah, it's working. It's
Yeah,
working.
we can.
Oh, okay. I had to
Cool,
unplug
cool,
plug
cool.
and plug it in. Oh, my bad. Okay. Hi. Yes. Thank you so much, Gervik. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, like he said, some of the topics we explore: ML, AI, data science, data engineering, analytics, software engineering. But like, really, we're exploring so many more topics. We're super hyped for season 2. Like Gervik said, we're exploring more topics. Like, we're thinking about going into not only just the technical sides of the data science field, but also the health sides and the health and stress of being in the field, talking to possibly psychologists, or going even broader to esports, just anything and everything tech. So coming up, what we have looking forward to, we have Nicholas Renault, who is a data scientist who posts on YouTube, helping people really know the ins and outs of the data science field, code basics, and like Gervik mentioned, we have Ken G, who does data science in sports analytics. We have some super excited guests coming up. We're really excited to expand what we started on in season 1 and really open up our topics in season 2. And the dream team that makes it all happen is our lovely podcast team. I don't know who's in here or not. If you're here, like, feel free to chime in. But we have Vedant, who is our lovely podcast host, Jay, who's our head of growth and in charge of really connecting our listeners. And then we have Gervik, who introduced me, and he's in charge of getting all of our wonderful guests. And Jay, who was the former VP of podcast and now is our wonderful advisor. And now we have Anune, who's our new head of film and production, and the 2 lovely first years, myself and Kate, who is the head of design and animation.
Thank you for talking about the podcast. I'm going to finish up by just talking about how you can get involved as a member of the Data Science Club. So of course, come out to all of our events and participate in them. We love to chat with you during any of our events. Always feel free to turn on your camera in Zoom. We love to see your faces. We also will have a monthly newsletter, which you can sign up for in the links provided once again. And also indicate your interest for potential workshops, and then join our Discord server. And then if you go on to the next slide, yeah, this is basically what I already pasted in a chat. We have an Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Discord, where we always update everyone on our events and workshops. If you join our Discord, you can assign yourself a role called Events Ping to make sure that you get notified for all of our new events and updates. And then the YouTube channel, once again, is where we upload recordings for our workshops and events, including this one. And yeah, that's all for me. I'll paste the list to the chat once again if anyone has joined late.
Yeah, and while Julia does that, I think we can just pause for any questions. from our members. It can be about the Data Science Club, just about any of the things we're doing or we've done in the past. We'd love to answer any questions you may have. Okay, while I wait for questions to come in, I did want to say, like, oh, I see something in the chat. Oh, it's Julia. But if anyone had any other questions, feel free to either unmute. We'd love to hear your voices as well, or put in the chat if you're more comfortable doing that. But yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing. Not sharing, so I'm gonna stop the recording.